Up next, we have the second fight of the night. We have Tyler Napier headed to the cage. He is making his amateur debut, Alex. Actually a training partner of Bruiser Martin's. He's been training since he was 11. He's now 24. Most of his training has been in boxing, but a well-rounded fighter from Manchester, Kentucky.
American Killer Bees is in the house tonight. They've been in this chair every single fight except for the second grappling match. Or I'm sorry, the first grappling match.
And introducing his opponent back in the B2 digital blue corner, Stephen Waggener.
We have Stephen Waggener making his way to the cage at a Louisville Combat Academy, Alex. Training partners, obviously, are head coach Adrian Jenkins. I mean, the list goes on and on with Louisville Combat Academy. You got Brandon Bishop, the Ferguson brothers, Graham Gordon, Carice Vaughn. He started at age 18, 22 now. He's also making his amateur debut.
Yeah, Stephen's a guy that's been around the Louisville martial arts scene for a long time. I trained with him vaguely at Griffin Submission Academy 4 years ago.
Okay.
He might say that he started training at 18. I'm not buying it. That might be a little bit of psychological.
He's selling himself short?
Yeah, I think so. Because I know I've seen this young man training for a long time.
Well, he's making the debut. You've been there, Alex. What are you thinking when you're making your amateur cage fighting debut?
Scared.
Really?
Yeah, scared. But he's got hundreds of hours in the gym, so maybe not. He might be tougher than me.
You're a former Hardrock champion, so you have some perspective on that. As we are watching both of these amateur debuts.
And introducing his opponent fighting in the B2 digital blue corner, weighing in at 144 pounds, representing Louisville Combat Academy, from Louisville, Kentucky, Stephen Waggener.
Both guys looking calm.
Once again, we have Stephen Waggener fighting out of the blue corner with the black trunks. We have Tyler Napier out of the red corner with the camouflage trunks.
Stephen coming out southpaw. Doing a good job of moving his head and jabbing. Stephen is.
Hands up and follow that jab. Get behind that jab.
Good high kick there
Jab
from
up,
Stephen.
Tyler. Gotta get behind him. We're leaving it out there. Bring it right back. There we go. Swing.
That kick actually just went a little high.
Yeah, get on top, on top. Hooks, hooks, Tyler.
That kick
listen to
went
me.
over
Hooks.
the head.
Hooks.
Stephen needs to let go of this
Take
head
it back
here.
down, Tyler.
Doing a good job of turning his
Valley
back.
drop, valley drop. Knee, knee, Tyler, knee. Don't sit there, say knee. Knee to the body, knee to the
Tyler's
body.
coach is calling for a
Knee,
valley drop
knee,
there. That would have been good.
knee.
But a young man that trained mostly for boxing,
Come on. Push out the
you have to
body.
wonder if he even knows what a valley drop is. Maybe he does. Stephen doing a good job of holding on to this clinch and letting it go with the knees.
Knees, Tyler.
Tyler bringing his leg up high there. That's how you know those knees are bothering him.
Throw some punches, Tyler. Don't stand there.
Good knee to the body there from Stephen. Stephen's dominating that plum and breaks with punches.
There he goes. Tyler, up. Walk the cage up. Get your head. Come on. Underhook his arm. Tyler, underhook his arm and roll him on the cage.
Coach Adrian Jenkins in the corner telling Stephen, breathe.
Push his head away. There you go. Push.
Great advice there for a first-time fighter making his debut. Don't blow it all right now. Breathe. Still a lot of fight to go.
Gotta get up. Don't let her.
3 3-minute rounds. Doesn't sound like a long time, Alex.
Gotta get full guard. Don't lay there.
I'd imagine you get inside the cage, you get through the first 2 minutes of the first round of your amateur debut, and you're singing a different tune.
Yeah, it's when is this over? When can I get out of here?
Stand up, Tyler. Up.
Stephen doing a good job of maintaining his underhooks. Out to the side. We'll see if he lifts here.
Come on, protect the neck. Don't let him take you down. While your base. Hit your ribs. There's a body shot, Tyler. Body. Punch. Hit him in the ribs, Tyler. Don't lay there. Punch. Come on, push the head away, Tyler. You're just laying there.
Steven doing a good job of holding Tyler on the cage.
Body shot. Finishing. Wrap your arm, legs around his body. Gotta pull guard, Tyler. Gotta get guard, Tyler. You can't lay on the side of it.
Tyler's got a funky arm-in guillotine here. Steven's to the side, but he's actually to the wrong side. The cage is preventing him from getting over on the left side there where he needed to be.
That's a good point, Alex. A lot of times you practice in jiu-jitsu. How do you escape from the guillotine? You do it one way, but then you get into the cage, you got the cage in your way.
Mm-hmm.
Got to adapt.
You got gloves on. You're getting kneed. You're getting punched. It's a whole nother ball game.
We see none other than Brandon Bishop over in the corner.
Boy, did he dominate his last fight or what?
Wow. Huge win in the main event.
Yeah.
Also, Adrian Jenkins. I mean, if you're talking credibility in your corner,
Hitters. These are hitters.
Louisville Combat Academy has that.
Yeah, hard hitters. Great grappling. Adrian will cut your leg off with a kick.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience there, Alex.
Unfortunately, yeah, I've been punched in the face and kicked by him more times than I care to have been kicked.
He was the Hardrock champ.
Yeah, he never lost that belt. He just relinquished it. Adrian, I believe, was trying to turn pro, had a snafu with the commission somewhere or another. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of consistency with our athletic commission as far as a fighter's age goes, what's required of them to fight. For one guy, it's one thing. For another guy, it's another thing. For a third guy, it's a third thing. Tyler looks tired. Steven looks good. Just my own observation.
Don't leave it out there. Don't fall at him. Have him protect the leg. Get your head up.
Tyler leading with his face, not a good idea. Steven doing a good job of turning onto the cage. Now Steven's going to let these knees go soon.
Pull you down, Tyler. You got an A-frame, Tyler. A-frame. Push your head away.
Good level change there for Steven. Action right in front of us. Tyler's reaching for that guillotine. Steven's leaving his neck out there occasionally.
Half guard. Half guard.
If he reaches his left hand down, he could pass. Pops his head out. Perfect.
Occasionally you will see someone execute the guillotine from a half guard position. Does it look like he's lost it?
Yeah, it's occasional. It's rare. It can be done, but again, for a young man that's predominantly trained to box, wonder if he has the technique to pull that off. Now's not the time to start experimenting. Now's the time to do things that you've drilled 100 times. Steven doing a good job of pinning that hand down. Can't protect his face right now. This is going to be over soon. That's it.
TKO victory for Steven Waggener in his amateur debut, Alex.
Good for him. He's dominant. He dominated that fight from start to finish. He had a few close calls with Tyler on his neck, but navigated them. Everything A1. I would expect nothing less from Louisville Combat Academy fighter. That's the precedent they've set.
22-year-old Stephen Waggener out of Louisville Combat Academy with a victory in his first fight.